Hi guys, welcome back to Colorado Living. I'm Nicole Baker. Today we're going to be talking about what the costs of living in Parker, Colorado are. If that's something you've been interested in learning more about, go ahead and keep on watching. But before I get started, I want to let you guys know I am a licensed broker here in this beautiful state. So if you've been curious on what it would be like or what the process looks like about buying a home here, go ahead and reach out. My number's right here popping up on the screen. So give me a call, shoot me a text, and also my email will be in the description of this video. So other than that, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with the cost of living in Parker, Colorado. 100 being the nation average. Colorado as a whole is going to be a 121.1 on that scale. I think a lot of people are familiar that Colorado is typically a little bit more expensive. It's not on the affordable side by any means, you know, similar to other states like Arizona, for example, it's going to be more affordable. But depending on where you're coming from, if you're coming from California, you're probably gonna love the prices, and we're gonna talk about the median price point in Parker, Colorado specifically today. So if that's something that you're interested in, go ahead and keep on watching. But overall, Parker specifically is a 138.4, remembering that 100. So it's a little bit above the national average, but not too bad compared to some of the other cities that we're gonna be talking about in the future. If you guys are interested in other cities, go ahead and leave in the comments exactly what cities you're looking for, and I can go ahead and definitely make cost of living videos on those specific topics as well. But Parker, 138.4 compared to some of the other places like Boulder that I've seen, pretty overall affordable. And then when we're gonna go into groceries, the Colorado average is going to be 100.7, so that's not too bad. A little bit more expensive than the average, the nation average, and I don't know exactly why, but 0.7, and I'm thinking maybe it's because something I've noticed since I've moved here is that the overall culture here is health. Health is wealth, right? So it's a pretty healthy state to live in, and you know, Whole Foods, for example, is a pretty popular healthy grocery store. Those healthy foods are just gonna be a little bit more expensive. Parker being a 103, so a little bit more than the Colorado average, but again, that could just be because of health, and also, you know, there could be a million different variables. So we won't go into super great detail about the groceries aspect, but it's a little bit above the average in the nation. Going into health, Colorado overall is a 95.8, which is really awesome because, you know, with the nation being 100 average, you're looking at a little bit lower. So that feels good to know that our health costs here are a little bit less expensive if needed. Hopefully, you know, we don't have to go and be spending a bunch of money on health stuff, but I think it, again, relates back to the culture here and it being an overall healthier state to live in. There's a lot more activities to do coming from, I'm always gonna refer back to Arizona, but coming from Arizona where you literally can't step outside because it's so freaking hot, you know, you can actually take a walk outside and you'll see tons of people walking their dog. If you don't have a dog, you're gonna have to get a dog because there's no way you can live in the state without a dog. Every single person walking down the street will have a puppy. It's so cute, and it makes me jealous because I don't have a dog yet. Don't tell anyone. Going on to specifically Parker's health is a 91.4. So a little bit less than that 95.8. And again, here you'll kind of see in some of these B-roll clips that I'm gonna be putting in that, you know, overall there's a lot of hiking here. We're pretty much in the mountains. This house that I'm at actually right now is probably 10-15 minutes off of the main strip where all the food is. And I'm basically in the mountains, no one surrounding me. So something to keep in mind is, you know, you are 5, 10, 30 minutes away, depending on where you're located at, from being in the mountains, being able to go hiking, being able to go mountain biking, you know, all those things that really keep our health up, which would obviously keep our internal health and make it cheaper for the state overall to be spending less money, if that makes sense. Going into housing, so overall Colorado is a 166.1. So again, housing, we know it's not cheap here by any means compared to some of the other states, but depending on where you're coming from, affordability, say California people, New York City, Chicago, all of those states, you're probably looking at similar numbers. Parker specifically being a 207.4, so a little bit higher than that Colorado average. There are a few other cities in this area that I can review for you guys as well if you'd like, that are a little bit more affordable. Parker not specifically being one. The average house cost here is gonna be around $685 for a single family home. I have seen homes obviously cheaper, so I would say a single family home, like the cheapest probably in Parker, $540 maybe. So just depending on where your budget is, and that's a single family. There's obviously townhomes, condos, that kind of thing, that if you're interested in going a little bit below that average, you know, we could talk about your guys' options. There's definitely something out there for everyone. And if it's not Parker, it could be a very close nearby city that is really similar, like Aurora, for example, is another really popular area that is pretty much comparable, but some parts of it are a little bit cheaper. So that's nice. Coming down to utilities, it is 98.4 overall in the state of Colorado. So again, basing it off of, I always base it off of Arizona, where you have to run the AC a bajillion, you know, times a year, and it is so hot there, like you cannot live without AC. Here it's really nice because you don't really have to run all those typical utilities that maybe you would be running in some of the other states, and even it doesn't even get that cold here, so a lot of the times people aren't even having to run their heater necessarily, or maybe they do, but only on those snowy days kind of thing. So Parker specifically is gonna be a 97.9, so a little bit below the Colorado average, which is nice, probably combining all those mountain towns where the numbers are gonna be a little bit different. And then when it comes down to transportation, Colorado being a 106, and Parker specifically being a 115.8. So something I've noticed at least is everything's a little bit more spread out here versus some of the more populated cities like Phoenix, like, you know, Los Angeles, those kind of things. Everything's a little bit more spread out, so I think you're spending a little bit more on those transportation items, if it not being gas, which is relatively, you know, we can only expect so much, but it's cheaper than Phoenix, I know that for sure. Probably at like $4.62, I think I saw today. Obviously today is different from whenever you're watching this video, but something to keep in mind on transportation, it's a little bit higher than that average national number, but not too expensive, so that's good. If you guys enjoyed today's video, I really appreciate it if you could shoot me a like and subscribe to this channel. If you have any suggestions on videos that I can be doing in the future to help you guys on your move here to Colorado, go ahead and leave me a comment down below. Other than that, I want to remind you guys I am a licensed broker here and I love hearing from you guys. Go ahead and shoot me a text or give me a call or give me an email even. I would love to hear from you guys, but other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.